'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself anymore. I guess I'm just not interesting. I have no personality. I met a guy with cancer, and he felt sorry for me. I've never been a social guy. I'm always making children cry. I guess that's just the way it's meant to be. Help me make it out of bed, 'cause I am scared and sad. Help me make it through the day, 'cause there's nothing out there for me anymore. 'Cause I'm always coming in last place and getting dirt kicked in my face, and everyone pushes ahead of me and no one stops to care. And I curse the gods each day in vain for giving me this life of pain, when all I really need's a little hug. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I am tired and alone. Help me make it through the night, 'cause I don't like myself. Holy guacamole, holy guacamole, I just got hit by a car, and you're the one who swept me off my feet, pushed me in the street, left me in a coma. Guacamole me, guacamole you, I just got busted for drugs, and you're the one who sold me to the Fed, leaving me for dead, played me for a fool. Making guacamole, mix it in the bowlie, I just got mauled by a bear, and you're the one who covered me with honey. Thought it was so funny, how could you be so cruel? Take it. That's good. Captain Guacamole, Officer Stromboli, I just got shot in the face, and you're the one who had the smoking gun. Love is just no fun whenever I'm with you. Guacamole coma, Yuma, Arizona, I just got hepatitis C, and you were standing there with a syringe. How it makes me cringe, breaks my heart in two. Holy guacamole, lumpy, green and rolly, baby, I wouldn't change change a thing. 'Cause even though I'm down upon my luck, I don't give a fuck, long as I have you. Alone in my room, time after time, all I've got left is my will to survive. But I've got the fire burning inside, and I've waited so long for this moment in time. I'm gonna change, you wait and see. I'm gonna be the best I can be. I'll be much better than everybody, 'cause this time it's all about me. You can dream when you sleep, you can sleep when you're dead. The bitch is hungry and she needs to be fed. I'm not gonna have sand kicked in my face anymore till the day that I die. Show me the way, show me a sign, show me that this time it's my turn to shine. I'm gonna be so much better than you, 'cause this time it's all about me.
About me, it's all about me. Not you, it's all about me. Fuck you, 'cause it's all about me.
Early to bed, early to rise. Could I have a salad instead of the fries? The odds are against me, but what the hell? I'm gonna start standing up for myself. I'm gonna change, you wait and see. I'm gonna be the best I can be. I'll be much better than everybody, 'cause this time it's all about me.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3, check. Help. 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 Check. Check, 1, 2. 2. Help. Someone help. Help. Hello everyone, and welcome to Henry's Kitchen, the live stream. This is where we teach cooking and teach other things as well. Just trying to figure out how to fix this situation here. Just looks a little off. Hold on. No. I don't know how to fix it. Okay, sorry. Maui Girl 45 says that's Baldwin Beach in Paia. Thank you so much, Maui Girl, for sending this beautiful picture of it. That would be the Pacific Ocean, right? It's either the Pacific or it's one of the other oceans. Or it's a sea. Unsuccessfully Coping says hi, Henry. Hi, Unsuccessfully Coping. Thanks for joining us. And does Joe Mama? Hello, right back to you. Hello, everybody. I slap cat butts. It's all just water anyway. Yeah, at the end of the day. Beanie Bo Beanie, our intern, says, hey, Henry, how's the beach? You might be overdressed. No, this is how I dress when I go to the beach. Voodoo 2. Oh, wow, you're cooking in a remote location just like Gordon Ramsay does. Yeah, but I think it's important for you to know when Gordon Ramsay appears to be on some kind of exotic location, he's actually in his green screen studio. It's Kate X says hi. Hi, everybody. And Pancake King says, we got you 5 by 5, good buddy. All right, I'm not sure what that means, but it sounds positive. Brett Bain, our friend Brett Bain says it is also how Henry dresses for church. Yeah, this is how I dress for everything. Welcome VFF says you look like you have just butchered at least 11 people within the last hour. Thank you. Voodoo 2 says green screen technology has come so far. It really has. And I do have an announcement to make, a little bit of a sobering announcement. Early this morning, probably about 6 a.m. On Wednesday, February the 4th, 2026, the year of our Lord. I was thirsty, so I woke up and went to the kitchen to get a glass of water. And my eyes were still a little bit sort of groggy or whatever, and I had to adjust my eyes a little bit, but I'm positive that what I saw was scurrying across from one end of my kitchen counter to the other what appeared to be a German cockroach. Yes, Beanie Bo Beanie, it was a German cockroach, and are they back? You know, they say that if you see one, that means there's hundreds of thousands of them on the other side of the wall, in the walls. Neat says a German. No, a German cockroach. I was using it as a adjective, not a noun. Pancake King says it's the heat driving them inside. Yeah, well, it's going to get a lot hotter here. Does Joe Mama says, fuck. Yeah, you're absolutely right on that one. So, I don't know. Is this the beginning of another episode of this horrific situation that seems to be never ending? I mean, it's been 6 months since we've seen this, or more, or maybe less. But I looked at my counter to see what the culprit might have been. I was looking for anything that wasn't a sealed can, you know. I mean, I have cans of stuff. The only thing I found that was open is the Elf on a Shelf cereal that I got for Christmas. I don't know if you remember this. It was open, and I didn't eat it all, and I wasn't intending to eat it all. I should have just thrown it away. It tasted like shit. I think we made one recipe with it that didn't really even work out, but yeah. Capacious T says they eat things out of your ears. Oh no. I gotta clean my ears. Beanie Bo Beanie says they're evolving. Can openers are child's play. Oh boy. Lagoon Goblin says on the plus side, the roaches are a great source of protein for cooking. Yeah, if you can tame them and get them to go into your dish. Capacious T, it may be that you have a neighbor who has a roach problem. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem with living in an apartment situation is you're always at the mercy of whoever the weakest link is, whoever the person is that just doesn't give a shit. You're right there, so it doesn't matter how much you clean. It's kind of like nations when it comes to pollution, you know? We're all on the same globe here. I slap cat butts, and I hope you don't slap them hard. Just little pat-pats. Can your property management get involved? It can't be only your fault. I don't think it is my fault. As you've seen, I cook very good food here, and I do it well. And I clean up always while I'm cooking, so I don't think it is. Caitlin's Kitchen says, sorry I'm late. I was busy reflecting on my dreaded existence. That's okay. I think that's where a lot of us were before the stream started. But thanks for joining us, even if tardy. Desolate Reality says, Henry, do you have any suggestions on how to be as successful in life and love as you? Other than the roaches, I mean. I'd say be yourself. That seems to work. The Gym Dodger says, are your neighbors quite closely? Yeah, I'd say they are quite closely. Goo2112 says, learn to coexist with the roaches. Yeah, that's probably what we all have to do, is eventually we just have to learn to cohabitate. There's no reason that I should kill them just for doing what they're doing. Computer, is cohabitate a word?
Yes, cohabitate is a word in the dictionary, which is usually defined as cohabit, to live together as if married,
okay.
Usually without legal or religious sanction.
Computer, stop. Computer, volume 10. I notice there's a lot of words where the definition is only a partial part of the word. So cohabitate means to cohabit. It sounds like. Now that's not related to habituate, which I think I don't remember where I saw this, but somebody defined it as habituate all my fries. Where's that from? I saw that somewhere and it's funny. Does Joe Mama say you should do a deep fried German cockroach video? It's funny, does Joe Mama, because every time I say your name, it sounds like I'm asking a question. But I want everybody to know that Does Joe Mama does say that. It's not a question. Does Joe Mama says you should do a deep fried German cockroach video. Yeah, that would be good. Angry Penguin 922 says we're going to have to either start cooking them or teach them how to cook. Wow, that's really poignant what you just said there. Teach your children well. Teach your cockroaches. Remember, if you teach, what's the thing? If you teach a man how to fish, then he won't be trying to get all of your fish. Or something like that. Poo 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 says hello. Hello, poo 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 poo. Let the roaches lead the way. Yeah. Crosby, Stills, and Nash, I believe. And Young. I think Young was involved too. Joke Pipe 85 says, what is this stream about? That's an excellent question. It's in theory, it's supposed to be about cooking, but it seems like it sort of takes a lot of turns. But it is cooking. I'll show you. We're going to be making this today. It's tomato braised chickpeas. And we've got our ingredients here. It's going to be an exciting time. Hey, I want to go through some of our alerts here. Velcrom VFF has subscribed. Thank you very much for doing that, Velcrom FF. I have a feeling this recipe will kick all kinds of rectum. Let's go. Yeah. Every types of rectum. The rear kind, the front kind. Gardivine or Gardivire has subscribed. Thank you very much, Gardivire, for subscribing. And Neat Says, love the latest YouTube video, Henry. That is really great to hear. Thank you very much, Neat. Remember, I've been uploading videos every Tuesday on YouTube, and I'm really happy to see that most people like them. Every now and then you'll get somebody who doesn't, and of course that's going to be the comment that I focus on. But thank you very much, Neat. That's nice to hear. It says, thanks for months and months of laughs. Best community on Twitch. I agree with that. Much love to you and the users. Now, I don't know a lot of the communities on Twitch, but I will say it's a wonderful community here, and I think that a lot of the communities on different social media platforms are just not really as smart. Unless you're one of the people from the other platforms, in which case I don't mean what I just said. Chuck Logan says, Henry, can you please explain the difference between chickpeas and garbanzo beans again? I always forget. Yeah. I think the way that one goes is I've never paid money to see a garbanzo. It's a little word joke there. Angry Penguin 922 says, they're in with big computer. Yeah. Who's they? You mean my cockroaches? Okay. But thanks again, Neat, for your subscription. Thanks, Velcron, VFF, Gardevoir. Thank you all. And maybe we do a little bit of music here. We've got some requests for songs. Let's see what we got here. Melanie. Whoa, I don't know what's going on in this picture, but it looks cool. Should we do this? Let's do this for our background. This looks like hell. Unsuccessfully Coping says, am I allowed to ask nicely to have nobody's birthday? Yeah, absolutely. It's Unsuccessfully Coping's birthday today, and we're going to go ahead and do a little song with a strange, hellish background. It's nobody's birthday, no need for candles on the cake. It's nobody's birthday, it was just some big mistake. It's nobody's birthday, despite everything you were hoping. 'Cause it's nobody's birthday, but unsuccessfully coping. Happy birthday, Unsuccessfully Coping. I hope you're having a good one. And Nihilist Life says some satanic goes with well with chickpeas. Yeah, looks warm. Yeah, this is an interesting photo that was sent to us by, was it Melanie? Yeah. Caitlin's Kitchen says, this is a real photo taken in my local Chuck E. Cheese dumpster. Wow, I didn't realize that. That's awesome. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to turn this off. Okay, let's get something a little bit more positive. We have some fun music that we're going to do this morning. Here, Phaedrus, who comes to us from the American Southwest, gives us this picture of a couple of birds. Look like they're hanging out. I'd like to use this as the background, but I really can't because I'd be in the way of it. But thanks for sending these guys. And we just had an alert come down here. Let me check that out. Hey, Mark Lahorn. Thanks for subscribing, Mark Lahorn. It says, hey, Henry, I've only got a few minutes to spend here today, but I hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay. Thanks, Mark Lahorn. All right, well, Mark Lahorn only has a few minutes, so let's go ahead and do a song right away here. I just want to get a different photo, but thanks, Phaedrus, for sending these guys. And then, okay, I'm just going to try to find, here, Beelzebub. I'm just pulling out this picture from Beelzebub. Doesn't have anything to do with the song, but let's go ahead and do it. This is a song requested to us by none other than Phaedrus himself. It's an Irving Berlin song that goes way back about 100 years or so. I don't know, maybe 80 years, I don't know. But it's a great song, and it was covered as a new wave type electronica music thing in the 80s by a guy named Taco. And we're going to do the song now. It's Puttin' on the Ritz by Irving Berlin and Taco. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix for Rockefellers, walk with sticks and umbrellas in their midst. Putting on the Ritz. And then there's a bridge part here, and of course I don't know how that goes. So if you ever are doing a bridge and you don't know, you just talk. Dazzlecat says pants with stripes are hard to pull off. Why would they be more difficult to pull off than other ones? Okay. Have you seen the well-to-do up and down Park Avenue on that famous thoroughfare with their noses in the air? High hats and arrow collars, white spats and lots of dollars, spending every dime for a wonderful time. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dressed up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper. Super duper, come let's mix for Rockefellers, walk with sticks or umbrellas in their midst. Putting on the Ritz. I noticed at the end there that this just repeats the same verse over and over again. There's a lot of other great lyrics in the original, and I went into the Michael Feinstein version at the end where he does this cool thing where he jumps up in the melody. Thitchin Hat says, well done, thank you. Thank you, Thitchin Hat, a.k.a. Phaedrus, for requesting that song and that little trip down memory lane. All right, Goo2112 says Subnautica, love it. Oh, is that what we're looking at now, the picture in the background? The Chunks says, my grandma used to put cheese and jam on Ritz. It sounds weird, but it's actually pretty good. Yeah, I don't think it even sounds weird. You can always mix savory with sweet. That's what the millennials do, and that's one of the things that they've contributed to our society that's fairly positive. Bacon wrapped in dates is another one example. Beelzebub says, yes, played Subnautica with Lisi, Dark, and Flash. Wow, okay, it looks like a really cool game. Dazzlecat says, agreed, I just had kettle corn for lunch. Yeah, that's another great example. Salty and sweet. And Gummy Candy says, like apple pie and cheddar cheese. Okay, now we're starting to get a little bit crazy here. Devolved One says, what's better, playing music or cooking food? I think it's a good question. I think music is something you have to do in order to get ready for cooking food. So I'd say music. Voodoo sends us a picture of some interesting beach rocks, and this is a black and white picture So when I saw it at first, I thought, well, if it's black and white, it made me instantly think of the moon. But this is actually a picture of beach rocks. Gabe Evolved says, did someone just say ham and cheesecake? Okay, now we're getting crazy. Fondue Yourself says, my friend swears by apple on grilled cheese. You know what? I might have had something like that once. No, I've had slices of apple on otherwise savory sandwiches, and it's quite good. Coca Parasite says, Henry, loved your vegan BLT recipe. Thank you very much. I think that's one we also did here on the stream. Quick question though, I have no bananas. Would a strip sliced off the sole of an old shoe work as a replacement? It would definitely taste the same as the way mine came out, but I believe that the soles of shoes are made out of organic materials, so if you cook them enough to get all of the obvious germs out of it that come from your sweaty socks or whatever, I think you probably would be safe doing that. I had an interesting day yesterday. I was eating some bread and I got almost done with it and I saw a bunch of mold on my last bite and I was like, ah, shit. And so I threw it away, and then of course I Googled all kinds of stuff about whether it's okay to eat mold and didn't really get a definitive answer. And then later I was like, well, I think I'm just going to go out to eat. So I went to a place to get a slice of pizza. And while I was eating my pizza, there was a very, very long, stringy hair in the pizza. And I was like, boy, I just can't win today. And the worst part about it is that the hair, I think, contained Just for Men, which is a hair dye. And it's one that I've used before. That's how I recognized the taste immediately. So I'm guessing whoever's hair it was somebody probably about my age. I don't know what's worse, is to have whatever the hair at least is organic, but I don't want to eat the Just for Men tainted stuff. Dutch Pro says, are you in Edmonton? I live in Edmonton. I would be interested in in-person cooking lesson. Okay. Well, I'd say between the flight and whatever lodging costs there would be, in addition to my fee, which isn't very much, it might cost about $10,000 to do a private in-person cooking lesson, but we could work that out. I might give you a discount. Dark Ages says, I have long hair, so I just convince myself anytime I get hair in my food that it's mine. Yeah, that's probably a much more comforting thing to tell yourself. Dazzle Cat says, should tell the pizza place to use tastier hair dye. Yeah, at least use something chemical free. Mimsy Coon says, I'm showing someone I met the other day your donut video, Henry. Thanks, Mimsy Coon. Boy, that one really did age pretty well. I'm noticing a lot of people gravitating toward that one. You know, if you put out hundreds of videos, there's going to be one or two that people will really like. Coca Parasite says, Henry must have developed an iron stomach after all this time experimenting in the kitchen, though. Yeah, no, I've definitely... They say whatever doesn't kill me only makes me stronger, and that's pretty much what my stomach has been saying for a long time. Mimsy Coon says, it's so good, bro. I've seen it hundreds of times. That's so cool. Thank you so much. Mimsy Coon is talking about the amazing donut that I made back about 6 or 7 years ago. It was before the pandemic in my old apartment. And that's a YouTube video if you want to check out Henry's Kitchen Donut. Okay, the chili for one recipe, says Voodoo 2, was the one recipe that hooked me to your cooking recipe. I doubled it so I could make it for my wife. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that was the one that started it all 15 years ago. Hey, I want to remind everybody, I've got shows coming up. They're coming right around the corner. Midwestern tour, Midwestern U.S. We're doing the Blue Strawberry in St. Louis's beautiful Central West End. That's February 22nd. And Chicago in the Rosemont location of Zany's Comedy Club. And that's going to be March 1st. So there's going to be some fun gigs. If you live anywhere in the Midwest or in another country where you have access to plane travel, I definitely say go to the shows if you can, because we'd love to see you. All right, let's change things up a little bit. Let's find another picture here. Pug Lady gives us this really cool picture. Wow, this is really beautiful. It's like a blue. Is this a bathroom? And then is that a painting or is that a window into the outdoors? This is a very interesting pic. I think we should use this. Why don't we use this for our next song here that was requested to us by our intern, Beanie Bobini. Oh, Pug Lady says it's a window in my shower. Wow, it's really, really cool. If I had a room like this, I would probably shower more often. Pug Lady 2600 says full moon in the background. Yeah, we had an incredible full moon out here in California. I don't know what everybody else saw, but we had a full moon. Full moon right in the beginning of February. Only something that happens here. Beanie Bobini says, is it in America? You mean this picture? Yes, I believe so. Pug Lady comes to us from the American southwestern portion of the country. Angry Penguin says, which America? The current one or the past one? I don't know. All right, we're getting off a little bit here. Who cares? Angry Penguin, is the moon America? You know, I do remember reading that the moon is about the width of the U.S. To give you, I think that's about what, 3,000 or 4,000 miles across, something like that. Angry Penguin 922, is there an American flag on it? I believe it's still there. I don't know if anybody went over there and reclaimed it or vandalized it or something like that, but I believe it's still there. Okay, let's go ahead and do this song. This is A Horse with No Name by America, the band. Isn't that fitting? Or is that the question that was asked? This is a very strange song, but you have to remember during this time, a lot of these soft rock people were experimenting with hallucinogenic drugs, and once you realize that, then the whole song makes a lot more sense. I mean, it doesn't make any sense still, but it makes sense why they would write the lyrics. On the first part of the journey, I was looking at all the life. There were plants and birds and rocks and things. There was sand and hills and rings. The first thing I met was a fly with a butt and sky with no clouds. The heat was hot and the ground was dry. By the way, the heat was hot is the first thing that's normal here, because heat's supposed to be hot, I think. But the air was full of sound. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. I've been through the desert on a horse with no name, and it felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. Oh boy. La 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 la. Tried to access a certain part of my vocal cords that hadn't really been cleared yet this morning here. After 2 days in the desert sun, my skin began to turn red. After 3 days in the desert fun, I was looking at a riverbed. It's a little bit of a Kermit the Frog thing going on. And the story it told of a river that flowed made me sad to think I was dead. You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out in the rain. In the desert, you can remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain. La 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 la. After 9 days, I let the horse run free, 'cause the desert had turned to sea. There were plants and birds and rocks and shit. There was sand and hills and rings. The ocean is a desert with life underground, and its perfect disguise up above. Under the cities lies a heart made of ground, but the human will give it no love. You see, I've been to the desert with a horse with no name, and it felt good to be out on the range. In the desert, you can remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one to give you no pain. Is it his name, or is it the horse with no name? Beanie Bo Beanie says, plants and birds and rocks and things. Yeah, that's pretty great descriptive literature there. The Jim Dodger says, La La fan here. La 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 la. Voodoo 2 says that they thought the horse was a guy called No Name. Oh, that could be what it is. Caitlin's Kitchen says the horse's name was Friday. Cider King says the horse is a guy with no name. I don't know. Angry Penguin says he could write a song, but he couldn't name a horse. Yeah, there's some contradictions going on. Nihilist Life says, listen kids, this is real music. It is good music. I make fun, but to me, that era, probably because I was a child and the world was new to me and everything seemed like an adventure, that was the soundtrack of my youth. And it's beautiful chords like the major 7 and then the major 7 add 9. That's kind of that would be the yacht rock chord. Oh, that one wasn't one. I Slap Cat Butts says, time for work. Bye, Henri. Bye, Henroids. See you all on the DVD. Thank you very much, I Slap Cat Butts. Thank you very much for joining us for the little time that you had here today. And it's always nice to see you. And I hope you're not slapping those kitties too hard in the butt. But they do like a little pat-pat. Coco Paraset says, did you listen much to Simon and Garfunkel ever, Henry? Yeah. I did. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk to you again. That's a fun song. Maybe we can do that sometime. But we have other ones to do. Thanks, Pug Lady, for sending this cool pic. It's really a great pic. Beanie Bo Beanie, just a little foreshadowing of what's to come. We will be using a cast iron skillet, and this looks to have some kind of face in it or something like that. That's pretty incredible. Do we need to call the Pope? Angry Penguin says have to go to work. Oh, yeah. You got to go to work too. Okay. Hopefully they'll someday accept cooking instructor notes as excused absences. Yeah, that would be good. It's Kate X says, what's the frog's name? Neat says, that's an amazing picture. Yeah, it really is. Really cool stuff. I'm going to see if there's any coffee. When I saw Beanie Bo Beanie, it reminded me of the delicious coffee he sent from the great city of Minneapolis. And I've gone through that one. And Duza also sent some great coffee from the American Northwest, which is really good as well. Everybody says this is a toad. Let me see if I can look at it a little. To me, it looks like a guy with a hat, but I don't know. My eyes aren't so good. But I like it. It's a great picture. Voodoo 2 says, what's your favorite dinner, Handlips? Oh, that's easy for me. I mean, the answer will change every time, but it's a dish that I made that I think not Gordon Ramsay, Anthony Bourdain. Sorry, everybody. Got a little bit of a frog in my throat, a proverbial frog in my throat. But so Anthony Bourdain talked about something called, I think it was called Cucino di Pepe or something like that. It's very, very fine, I think Asiago cheese with a little bit of pecorino. And it's also got pepe. Yeah, pepe means pepper, apparently in Italian. Dark Ages, what a fucking loss with Anthony Bourdain. Yeah, right? That guy was cool. Oh, it's Cacio de Pepe. Really, really good stuff. You can make it at home. Noodles65 says pepe, no poo-poo. Yeah. This is pepe, which apparently is how you say pepper in Italian. I didn't know that. But yeah, go ahead and look that up. Just look up Asio de Pepe or whatever on Google, and you'll see all kinds of great stuff there. Okay. Exodin 3300 says, you're referring to a Chini de Pepe number 78. Oh, maybe I'm getting it mixed up. There's also a pasta called a Chini de Pepe. Is that pepper also? Computer, let's see if we can reach out to the computer and get some kind of information here. Computer, volume 10. Computer, what is Cacio de Pepe?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Computer, what is a Chino de Pepe?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Okay, computer, is there anything you can help me with?
I have a lot to offer. I can help with games, relaxation, education, and more. Which would you like to explore?
None.
I excel in entertainment, health and fitness, adventure games, animal games, and more. Which would you like to explore?
Cancel. Okay. Not a lot going on there. Beanie Bobini says she is still trying. Yeah. Trying. Well, I wouldn't mind just information. All right, so we're going to have to Google the difference between a Chino de Pepe and Cacio de Pepe. Spellsing says, how could computer be good at fitness? I don't know. Mimsy Coon says, all right, officially tuning in properly again. Hey, welcome back. All right, we got another song here. Let's see if we can find it. We're going through quite a few picks here. We're doing pretty well. How about this one from RKUvia? Silent Hill. Wow. There really is an uncanny resemblance to someone I know in this video game called Silent Hill. RKUvia, thanks for sending that. I like it. What else do we have? Nena sends a picture of their hamster. Did we learn the name of this hamster guy? Boy, what a cute picture this one is. What a wonderful little animal. Thanks for sending this, Nena. Your pet is making us all just sort of feel a little bit better for a moment, and then we go back to feeling like shit. Mimsy Coon says, can you blame me? I can't blame you at all. Chuck Logan says, a hamster with no name. I've been to the desert, met a hamster with no name. He was talking in palindromes. See, I could write for 70s songs too. It's Kate X says, Are we human or are we hamster? Yeah, that's a song from The Killers. Sure Shot 22, highlighted message. Yeah. Okay, everybody. Let's see what else we've got. Nicolaso sends us this one. Is this Chicago? Is that? No, this isn't Chicago. Okay, now I'm being dumb. Oh, this is this New York? Are we looking at the Hudson River? I'm bad at my skylines. I know that some of these buildings have been changed. Oh, we're in Hoboken. Okay, yeah, sorry everybody. I'm a native New Yorker and I used to see those other towers every single morning right from this very view, even though I was in New York, but when I used to live in New Jersey for a little bit too. Yeah, this looks like Hoboken, and if you get a chance, do that walk. Oh my God, the train wasn't working when I was staying in Montclair about a year ago, so I had to take the bus to Jersey City, and then I did a walk up the Hudson to Hoboken to the station to finish the rest of my trip. And it was incredible. If you can catch it on a really good day, you really, really need to do that walk. It was absolutely wonderful. And it's great to see this city. If you haven't been to New York, you need to go at some point in your life. It's one of those bucket list things. It's a major center of the world. Angry Penguin 922 says, I knew the moon was America. You knew the moon was America. Well, yeah, I think the moon is everywhere, but I could be wrong about that. I haven't been everywhere, man. Red Emma says, New Jersey transit could be so good, but it's kind of really bad these days. Yeah, there was a little bit of, they got maintenance to do every now and then. But I think it sure beats driving around those streets of New York. Blue Skyval says, hi, Henry. Speaking of Chicago, I just read about Terry Kath today. Very tragic. All right, well, I'm going to sound like an idiot. I don't know who that is. It's always very tragic when you hear about somebody who had a tragic situation. I don't know what it is. But I'm going to look that up. I'm very curious. XL Rodrigo says the moon is Chilean. Claimed in 1954. Oh, I didn't realize that. But there was a moon before that, though, right? No? I thought there were references to it in things that go back before the 1950s. Fountaro says, hey, Henry, been watching the DVDs for a few months now. Finally able to join us stream live. Keep cooking. Hey, thanks for joining us, Fountaro. How is it working for you in terms of a lot of friends of mine, mostly the older people like myself and my peers, will say the strangest things when I say, hey, you should come on and watch the Twitch broadcast sometimes. And they'll be like, well, do I have to pay? And it's like, no, you can just watch it, right? You don't have to. And they're like, do I have to set up an app or something? And I go, I don't think so. I think it's just like YouTube. You can go to the website and just start watching, right? And they're like, I don't like getting on the app. And now the government knows where I am at all times. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just watch the entertainment. Angry Penguin 922 says, okay, leaving for real now. Have a great Wednesday, everyone. All right, Angry Penguin, thank you very much for saying goodbye again. Fondue Yourself, and thanks for joining us. Fondue Yourself says you only need an account if you want to chat. Yeah, and they don't have to chat. Unsuccessfully Coping says you don't need an account either for Twitch. Some people just are a little paranoid. Yeah, I think so. But why only with Twitch? Why aren't they saying that about YouTube or any of these other things? Maybe it's a marketing problem with Twitch, or maybe it worked out pretty good. Beanie Bobini says you can wear a tinfoil hat if you're really unsure. Yeah, that's what I should tell them. Just wear a tinfoil hat and there's no way they can break into your brain. Okay. Stan Brule says, my uncle used to watch streams on Twitch and now he's in prison. Yeah, well, stories like that are just anecdotes. That's just one thing that happened to one person. It doesn't necessarily mean... There's not even a privation of causation there. Is privation a word? I don't think so. Eclipse sends us this screenshot. Room reveal. Is this from a video game too? Or is this actually, are you revealing to us your room? Unsuccessfully coping says maybe they're afraid to click on the hot tub lady streams. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead and do this beautiful song that was requested to us by Maui Girl. And maybe we'll put it on a picture from Maui Girl. And maybe we'll scroll through different pictures for this one. I wish I had a way I could easily scroll through pictures while doing a song. That would be nice. Here we go. Very cool picture. This looks like an album cover. Can somebody screenshot this right now and let's make it an album cover? We're going to have to make it square. I think that would be cool. All right. This is a beautiful song written by, I don't know, it was popularized by Judy Collins, but then it was covered by Joni Mitchell and Neil Diamond, and it's just a classic folk song, but I don't know if Judy Collins wrote it. Computer, who wrote Both Sides Now?
Both Sides Now was written by the talented artist Judy Collins. It's a beautiful song about seeing life from different perspectives. For more details, you can visit alexa.com.
No, thanks. That's really literally all I wanted. Fauntaro says that's Jose Suicidio's Yacht Rock album cover right there. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people want to know where the origin for the persona of Jose Suicidio. We don't really know what his real name is. But a lot of people don't know the inspiration, but I believe it was this picture here. Hold on a sec. Well, why can't I? Yeah. This is, I don't think I've ever seen somebody this happy to be going through a divorce, but definitely Julio Iglesias is really happy to be done with that, whatever horror he was going through. A lot of people also don't know that Ronnie James Dio's original full name was Ronnie James Suicidio, I think it is. Okay. Hammy Xham says he is apparently a bad man. Yeah, or maybe he was in a bad relationship. It's like the song goes, and I can't remember the guy's name. There ain't no good guy. There ain't no bad guy. There's only you and me. And we just disagree. And once I legally end our union, I will go to the beach and be the happiest man alive. Because that's the way apparently it worked out for him. Let's take a look at some of our alerts here. Blue Skyval, thank you for subscribing. And I don't know who Terry Kath is, but it sounds tragic. I'm going to have to look that up. And WikiTBH has just subscribed, and there's a message here. It says, "Hi, Henry. Thank you for your previous song. It reminded me of the time I was my wife's +1 on a business trip, and she and her colleague shared the bed and I had to sleep on the chair facing the wall. It was only fair, after all, because they were the ones that were on their business, and I am jobless. Yeah, no, I think that if it is a business trip and she's with a coworker, they probably need to they need to share the bed together, because they probably have to go over some memos and reports and stuff like that, and you don't want to have somebody all the way across the room in a sleeping bag or something. You have to be in the same bed. Thanks, WikiTBH, for sharing that fun memory that you must have gotten from the song America by America, Horse with No Name. Okay, Caitlin's Kitchen. They were discussing business under the covers. Yeah, that's a line from, I guess that's why they call it the Blues by Elton John. Discussing business under the covers. Okay, let's go ahead and do this song. We've gotten way
Delicious
off this morning. Whoa. The News Junkie, always good to see you. Thanks for rating us and sharing your audience with us. We're having a wild time right now. I'm about to do a song by Judy Collins, covered by Joni Mitchell. I don't know if that's necessarily the most awesome thing to walk into, but I want to say thank you very much. It says here, the Silent Coda, you're being rated by the News Junkie, an Orlando radio podcast show that covers news with some of the most skilled and entertaining people in the business. Also, Sean is on it. Hey, the Silent Coda, thank you very much for explaining what's just happened here. And I want to thank the News Junkie for sharing your audience with us, and that's very nice of you. Bootsy Moonshine. Hey, you're on the beach. No, I'm actually not on the beach. I'm currently in my kitchen, but there's a green screen technology that's making it appear that way. All Day Yuckers says, can you play Eat It by Weird Al? Oh, man. We could probably do that one. If you don't mind, put it in the Discord, and I'll do it next time on the next stream. As there's an area where you can request music, but then I kind of work on it. Hammy X Hams says, grease them up and give them the firm handshake, and has gifted us 200 bits. Thank you, Hammy X Hams. That's very kind of you. Jessica Messica says, why are you hiding your location? Oh, no. We're going to go into the kitchen very soon. But I just don't want to do that right now because we've got one more song to do. All right, everybody. I'm ready to do this song here. It's a beautiful song. I'm going to do it sort of in the Jose Suicidio key, but just imagine it by a beautiful voice like Joni Mitchell or Judy Collins. I'm going to do more of the Neil Diamond type version. All right. Rows and flows of angel hair and ice cream castles in the air and feather canyons everywhere. I've looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun, and rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds, illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Thanks, Maui Girl. Thanks for suggesting this song. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, the dizzy dancing way you feel as every fairy tale comes real. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show. You leave them laughing when you go, and if you care, don't let them know. Don't give yourself away. Boy, I'm really losing the pitch here. I'm going to switch up the background. Let's go to a different one. Let's go to Hell from Melanie's picture here. I've looked at something that way.
I've looked at love from both sides now, from heaven and hell, and still somehow it's love's illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all.
Yeah, maybe I'm not going to be able to do Tenacious D, but I can pick up the tempo a little bit for verse 3.
Tears and fears and feeling proud, say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus crowds, I think I like that way. But now old friends are acting strange, shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost but something's gained, I'm living every day. Everybody, I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow I like illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
I did a really low key of this, so the best I can do is maybe Neil Diamond. Big Doug Millionaire says this guy is more talented than Billy Bob Thornton. Oh, I wouldn't say that, but I appreciate the sentiment. Caitlin's Kitchen is waving a lighter to this. It's a little too low. Let's see what happens when we change the key.
But now old friends are acting strange. They shake their heads, they say I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained. I'm living every day. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all. I don't know life at all.
Okay, thanks for joining me here in Hell, where we do folk songs. Fondue Yourself says different vibes in every different key. Yeah, that's what's great about music. You change the key and you change the whole range of the instruments and everything's different. But in my case, I have problems singing. I think I'm always so afraid to sing something bad that I kind of hold back, and that's what makes it sound off pitch. But we're all a work in progress. Jessica Meska says I sound like a cherub today. Thank you. Thanks, Maui Girl. Thanks for giving us that request. Obi-Wan Cannoli says, can you sing it like the Bee Gees? Yeah. Let's see.
I've looked at life from both sides now, win and lose, and still somehow is life illusions I recall. I really don't know life at all.
All right. We've done Kermit doing America earlier, and now we just did the Bee Gees doing Judy Collins. I think it's time for us to start cooking whatever shit that we're supposed to be cooking right now. Okay. I don't know how this is going to turn out. Here we go. Welcome to the kitchen, everybody. Fun time's over. It's time for us to do our bullshit. Beanie Bo Beanie says, can we stay partially in hell? Nah, we got to completely get out of hell. Parasitosa says, I just got here. Let's get to the cooking already. Yes, let's absolutely do it. Here we go. I'm going to a website called The Spicy Mediterranean Mama. And we are making tomato braised chickpeas. As the old joke goes, the difference between a chickpea and a garbanzo is that I've never paid $50 to see a garbanzo. It's a very tasteless joke, but it's good wordplay, and sometimes we need that, a little bit of levity in our daily lives. Jessica Meska asks if I'm familiar with Hammerfall. I'm not sure I've heard of that. Okay, ingredients. Let's go over our ingredients. It's asking for olive oil. I'll be using the Acevedo oil. I just think it's got a higher cooling point and a lower heat point. So I prefer that. We've got, of course, our chickpeas. I've got some toast that I saved from going to a diner the other day. I hope it's still good. It might be a little bit hard. And the website asks for Pecorino Romano, who I think is a guy that I went to high school with. I don't have that, but I have grated Parmigiano cheese. And we don't have mozzarella, but I think any kind of cheese will do. I'll be using a fine cheddar, aged. It asks for tomato sauce. I don't have tomato sauce, but there's really not much difference between tomato sauce and pasta or salsa. So I don't see what the difference would be there. Jessica Meska says, I love the blank. It sounds like we are in a cathedral. Oh my God, I left the reverb on. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Hold on a second. Check, 1, 2. Is the reverb off? I'm so sorry about that. I hate doing that. I know it triggers some people. Salsa means sauce anyway, and it's made out of tomatoes. Yeah, I don't see any difference. Thanks, E-Kunks. Shirley's Newt says, these ingredients are cracking me up. Also, that version of Both Sides Now is epic. Wow, thank you very much, Shirley's Newt. And Butt Smasher Masher, the Ricer Bison give it a pizzazz. Yeah. Voodoo 2 says, I don't have any chickpeas. Will gluten-free steel-cut oats do? Sure. You can feel free to make substitutions. The only substitutions, look, it's 2026. We can substitute anything for anything. We can take something savory. If you're supposed to put grape jam on something, just put bacon on there, and vice versa. It really doesn't matter anymore to anybody, apparently. Caitlin's Kitchen says, my chickpeas when she laughs. Okay. We accept the wordplay there because it is a very difficult life, and sometimes a little bit of levity being infused into our daily lives can ease the pain of existence. So thank you very much for that chickpea joke, Caitlin's Kitchen. And Nihilist Life says, can I add copious amounts of meat? Sure. Butt Smasher Masher says, is bacon pancetta? I don't know. We're getting kind of out of my area of expertise. But so let's go ahead and do this now. Let's go back to our website. We're going to heat our oil in a skillet. So we're going to start by heating up our aromatics. What is an aromatic, you ask? I don't know. Computer, what's an aromatic?
As a noun, aromatic can have a couple meanings. 1. A plant, drug, or medicine yielding a fragrant aroma, as sage or certain spices and oils. 2. Aromatic compound, an organic compound that contains...
That's
one or
enough.
more
Computer,
benzene or
stop. Hey, I want to thank Caitlin's Kitchen for gifting a sub. Thank you very much, Caitlin's Kitchen. That's very kind of you. All right, let's turn this thing on. We're going to put 1 tablespoon of our olive oil, and then we're going to put another tablespoon of our olive oil. And then we're going to seal that up. And again, I'm using Acevedo oil because it's got a higher boiling point. All right, let's go ahead and put this there. And now for our aromatics, which is basically aroma, is where the word comes from. We're going to be using our salt and our pepper, and we're going to be using these adorable salt and pepper shakers that came to us from our user Game Master Flash as a gift for Christmas. If salt and pepper shakers aren't the cutest thing you've seen in the last 5 years, then you must be seeing a lot of extremely cute stuff, because I think this is fucking cute as hell. Okay, so let's get a little bit of our pepper. That's going to be our first aromatic. And then we're going to do a little bit of our salt. And we're going to let that cook up until it gets aromatic. Money Curse says, does salt have an aroma? I think it does. Something can smell salty. Actually, maybe not. I really don't know. No, I don't smell salt. I really just smelled my own hand. And I wish that I hadn't done that. Okay, Friendly Friend says, is it spelled aromatic? So it can fly quickly if I throw it out the window. I think you're thinking of aerodynamic. Shirley's Newt, thank you very much for cheering. And I know that name. It sounds very familiar. Shirley's Newt. It's something that's very familiar to me. And yet I can't quite place it. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we're doing here. We're heating the oil with our aromatics, and we're going to cook this down for 2 minutes. Computer, how much time is left on our timer? Computer, how much time is left on the timer?
There are no timers set.
Okay, I guess I didn't set a timer. Butt Smasher Masher says, what did you think of the Germa clip? I thought it was very cool. Somebody took an excerpt from my donut, I think it was the donut video, one of my videos, and sent it to Germa for, I think it was a contest where you're supposed to not laugh. Either that or he wasn't laughing at it, but it was a lot of fun to watch, and that's a lot of people watching his stream, so that's pretty cool. Hopefully that translated into millions of dollars for us here at Henry's Kitchen. Okay. Let's do, now we're going to add the chickpeas and the marinara sauce, which of course we're not using marinara, we're using salsa. We're going to need to open up this pan of can of chickpeas. WikiTBH says, unfortunately, all the money went to Jose Suicidio. Yeah. Shirley's Newt says, kick cheese. Yeah, I might have just invented a word there that's never been done before. Well, what just happened here? I thought I just did the thing. Do you have to do the other side? Now I can't get this thing open. They need to send you a manual with these types of things. Here, I'll push this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, I see. You have to push down harder on it. So we're adding our chickpeas and our marinaras. Okay, a lot of water here. I'm going to get rid of that. stick this. I should have used a smaller bowl here. Wow, our aromatics are really starting to aromate. Probably do about half a can. Woo! That's hot. Fuck. It's splashing all over the place. Extremely hot, tiny particles, probably roughly the same temperature as the stuff that the sun spewts out. Watch out for this. Whoa. God, son of a bitch. Too hot. How did it get that hot? Watch out, everybody. This is dangerous. Oh man, I made a mess. I'm just going to clean this while that's cooking. Beanie Bobini says, Henry, blink once if you need help. I blinked several times. Okay. Some hardcore stuff going on here, but at least we know it's cooking, right? All right. If you're just joining up, we're frying up our chickpeas, or sautéing them, I guess. Nancy Drudels, the heat is all the way down to 400, which is low. It's not 400 degrees. This thing goes up to 1100, which I think is roughly the temperature of the surface of the sun. It's one of the reasons that space travel is very difficult. Holy crap, awesome says, are the chickpeas attacking you? Yeah, it does really feel that way. Okay, and now we got to add our marinara. Let's see how that's going to go. So we've got some, this is classic medium chunky salsa. Sorry, I'm very, Parasitosis says, peeing so hard it sounds like you're frying chicken. Yeah. Oh boy. Alright, we got to add in our marinara sauce or whatever. Alright, I think we can kind of chill with that. Computer, how much time left? Computer, how much time left?
There are no timers set.
Fuck. Computer, can you set the timer for 10 minutes?
10 minutes, starting now.
Thank you. I'm going to get some pellicule plastique here. I am not one to waste food, so we are going to put some of this stuff over this so that we can have this to enjoy at some future time. This box is coming apart. This is why it's better to just get the name brand of these products instead of the the generic one that you get from the supermarket, because it's the product is fine, but the technology around how, I mean, this is a joke, you know, that it's coming out of the box and it's hard to find the sharp part, and you accidentally cut yourself because it's not where you would think it is. Okay, let's put this back. Beanie Bo Beanie says Neil Diamond. What about Neil Diamond? Coffee break. Oh, God. Shirley's Newt says it needs more kick cheese. Yeah, well, let's take a look. This is a good time to look at what we're going to be making here in the long run. Bill Larkin. I don't know what's happening here. Okay, here we are. No. Okay, everybody. We're having some technical difficulties. It wouldn't be Henry's Kitchen if we didn't have all kinds of shit going on. Here it is. There it is. This is chickpea braised, or tomato braised chickpeas, as opposed to chickpea braised tomatoes, but they're very similar dishes. I don't see any cheese on this, and it's got me kind of concerned, because I think we're supposed to have cheese. Oh, here it is, yeah. This is the one we're making, and it does have cheese. There's several dishes online. This is the next thing that we're doing, and you might find this part kind of strange, and that's okay. We're going to hold off on our kick cheese. What I'm going to do, let's just put away some of this other shit here. I'm going to deconstruct our some dolmas. I've got some canned dolmas. This is grape leaves, and we're going to use one of these for our greens, because I thought it might be fun. So let's just go ahead and deconstruct these and extract the greenery from the outside. The inside you can eat, of course. I don't really feel like it right now. None of this stuff I'm making here looks particularly appetizing, but let's see what it tastes like. Oh, that's good, actually. That's really good. I think I might just sort of have one of these. Wow, that's good. Kind of makes me wish we were just eating that instead of whatever this shit is. That was very hunger quenching. Computer, can you quench your hunger?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
You don't have to help me with it. I'm just curious to know a yes or no. Literally a yes or no question. Can you only quench thirst? Voodoo 2 says, I burnt my avocado oil. Can I order takeout instead? Yeah, that might be the best thing. Just get a pizza at this point. Devolved 1 says, satiate your hunger. But then you'd satiate your thirst too. So what is the the purpose of having a different word for the other one. Money Curse says you sate hunger. Okay, whatever. It doesn't really relate to what we're doing here. Okay, let's look at our next order of business. We've simmered, and now we're going to add our greenery to this. I'm going to use a whole grape leaf there. This stuff is quite delicious, I must say. And it's nice because by cooking it, we're burning out all the sort of toxins and the chemicals and the oils that are inherent to life. Okay? There's that. And now, take a look at our last order of business here. Sorry, everybody. I'm going to have to eat this last bit of this stuff because it's so good. And I might not end up eating whatever it is that we're making now because it doesn't seem like it's going well. But that grape leaf stuff was good. Okay. Now we're supposed to stir this until it's wilted. So let's do that. Whew. Wait, no, we can't touch that. That's hot. Hold on. Make sure you have an UV glove for this. This is not a no-stick pan situation. This is a cast iron skillet. This is the real deal, guys. Wow, we're actually getting some char on the bottom of our chickpeas. Kind of cool. You know, maybe this is going to come out okay. I'm gonna have a little bit more of this. I think the final, the last straw, if you will, is going to be our cheese. Why do I not see cheese? Here, I'm going to turn the heat off and sort of take it off the heat slightly. This is hot stuff. You know, I saw an insect this morning, as we talked about at the beginning of the stream. But I have to say, as much as I hate insects, the way this kitchen is smelling right now, I actually don't blame them. I think this is going to be delish. Now we got to figure out what to do with our leftover diner toast. When you're going through leftovers, you're not going to be able to have a home run with any of this stuff. You have to kind of find the one that's in between the rest of them. And maybe just sort of realize you're not going to be able to have all of it. Let's go ahead and get a toaster here. Or maybe the air fryer would be better. Oh. The smell of, oh shit, I just dropped half of my bread. Damn. Computer, stop. This is getting crazy here, guys. Hold on a second. I'm just going to use one bread. Unless this is delicious, in which case I might investigate using some of that other bread. But, okay, so it's time to put some of our cheese on there. I'm not going to go nuts with the cheese, to be honest with you. Let's take a look at the picture. They've got it sort of in splotches. I think we can do that. Just make little splotches of cheese. That was kind of a thick piece. I had a thick piece on my chickpeas. It's fun to try to come up with rhymes while you're cooking. Okay. Kind of tuck it in here a little bit. Flip it. The idea is you want the cheese to melt into your chickpeas. This is going to have sort of a taco flavor to it, I guess. Unfortunately. I mean, I love tacos, but that's not what we were trying to do. Yeah. Yeah, I think our toast is ready. The toast, no, I picked up the toast off the ground and threw it in the trash. Nancy Drudels says these pieces, 3 pieces of toast, all nibbled on. If you commit to eating one whole piece, you should have 2 awesome toasts to bring home. Yeah, that's actually a good way to look at it. I might still go ahead and eat this other toast, but for now, we have something looking kind of decent here. I'm going to start getting ready to plate this up. By plating, I just mean presenting, you know, just arranging on our beautiful cutting board. We've got our salt and pepper. I think I'm going to do a little more salt and pepper from our salt and pepper pepper shakers. Okay, well, this is it. I mean, this is our meal at this point. That's cooling down nicely. Still very hot. I'm not really sure how we're supposed to do this right now. Shirley's Newt calls this kick cheese paella. That's a better name. Caitlin's Kitchen says the aromatics go crazy. Yeah, they sure do. I think this is going to be good, guys. Just let's compare this to our picture. Theirs is bigger in the frame, of course, because I don't have my zoom lens. But other than that, I'd say we have something very similar. You know, ours, of course, is not going to match their level of photography. We don't have professional photographers here at Henry's Kitchen. But, you know, that's always going to make the food that you make at home feel a little more sad. But still should be pretty good. Let's go ahead and I'm going to cut off a piece of my toast here. Let's go ahead and get a piece of this on our toast. Got some gooey cheese there. Let's see what we did here today. Delicious. Hold on, everybody. I'm going to say right off the bat, this bread is really good. Read off some of our alerts. Shirley's Newt cheered 950 bits and 100 bits. Thank you so much, Shirley's Newt. Caitlin's Kitchen, thanks again for gifting a tier 1 sub. Beanie Bobini says, does that count? Guys, I think we did okay here. Honestly, I think we did it. We did it. Let me try to get a little more of this. The toast is amazing. This is some kind of fancy... I went to a very fancy diner and they gave me a sourdough with... Or no, I guess it's rye because it's got the rye, the little dill bits in there or something. But I don't know if I would have gone cheddar with this. And mozzarella sounds interesting. But then again, we also went with salsa instead of marinara sauce. So, oh, and I forgot I actually had regular pasta sauce we could have used. But there's a couple things making this really good. The toast and then this. Trader Joe's Domas is giving a nice flavor to it. And the salsa wasn't anything to sneeze at as well. I think we did okay. I'm not going to call this fucking delicious because the cheddar cheese kind of makes it a little bit weak. But I'm going to say it's pretty good. I think we did pretty good here. I don't think this year we've had a bad recipe, which is good because in previous years that was sort of a problem. And Maui Girl says dumbass. Yeah, dumbass, apparently it means grape leaves. This is going to be a very interesting sort of a dish that you can make for yourself in the afternoon snack. As you could see, it was very time consuming. Fluviology says I would skip the peas. Yeah, you're right. If this didn't have chickpeas in it, it would be so much better. If it was just toast, cheese, with a little bit of salsa, that would have been the way to go. One problem is they don't really sit on the toast. They fall off. Might need a demerit for that. Neat says time consuming and a little scary, but worth it. Yeah. Tapiokuma says pizza. Yeah, I think we might have just made pizza here. I'm going to do one more bite. I'd say it's a little better than just fine. We forgot all about our pecorino romano. Whatever. It's fine. Hey, I was thinking we would do a little game here. We played this one a while ago. I don't know if I told anybody that I took up golf not too long ago. And I do have a golf game on Steam, and maybe we could just try a couple of holes. Ishmael says that Romano looks like hell anyway. Yeah, it really does. So yeah, we won't be using that. Like, what even is this? It looks like it's a portal into hell. Yeah. Dark Ages says, if you ever get VR, it'd be cool to get a game of Walkabout in. I think you'd like it. Yeah, it sounds good to me. All right, let's put it on our game. So I have to make a couple of changes here. We're going to go with WGT Golf. Hold on, there's always all kinds of shit that I gotta do. Okay. Turn on the desktop audio. Okay, so now we should be hearing a little bit of music. All right. Can everybody hear me and see me okay? Is everything working from the technical perspective here? Ouija board says it's time to golf. Friendly friend. Yeah, let's do a little bit of golfing. You're a little cut off. Oh, yeah. Let me crop that. Thanks for that. Everything else going okay? I can feel you. PGA Tour Prep. Three-hole stroke play. I think I've done that. Okay, Henlips 1 versus amateur. Thanks, holy crap, awesome. Glad to hear everything else looks okay. Okay, let's go. We're loading the course. Okay, this is the other guy who actually looks more like me, I think. Okay, so named after the Swilcan Burn, which runs through the opening hole and stands guard at the front of the green. When approaching the green, play it long to avoid... Wait, I wasn't done. Okay, well, here we go. Here goes nothing. Wait, this isn't me, right? That's the other guy. Looks like a beautiful day out there on the course. That's nice. Ooh, very straight. I'd say that was just about a perfect shot. This is going to be a tough one to compete with.
Solid shot.
I'd say so. Okay, here comes me. We got to do 220 yards. It looks like we've got a full driver here. 10.5 driver, whatever that means. And I'm going to go all the way back to almost a full swing. And then we have to, when it comes back, I have to hit it right in the center. Oh, that wasn't good. Not bad. I think this game might be kind of forgiving. Not terrible. Nancy Drudel says you have to yell 4. Yeah, I should have.
Solid shot.
In case anybody was there. Okay, let's see if we can beat this guy. I'm playing with a real person, too. I don't know who that is. I'm using my 8-iron. I need to go 106 yards. 8-iron's pretty, a lot of club for this, but let's go ahead and try it. Oh, just barely cleared that little ravine there. Or whatever. Unsuccessfully Coping says this guy is glowing with whiteness. Yeah, he sure is. Pug Lady 2600 says, hope you're wearing sunblock. Yeah. Hopefully this guy is. All right, so now we're watching our opponent. Let's see if he does as well as I do. Go! This is where you got to heckle. Hey, why don't you, what are you, making an oil painting there or something? I don't know. Okay, have you ever golfed in real life? Yeah, I started a couple of years ago. I'm not very good. Boy, this guy's really getting very zen about it. He's taking a lot of time. But that's just a lot of tension building up here. Let's see how good he is. He knows he's on stream. He's choking under pressure. Oh, his time expired. Warning, 1 time out remaining. Is it my turn? When do I get to go? Pug Lady says he looks like Epstein. Yeah. Oh, there we go. See, you do all that thinking about it and you don't even end up with a shot that's that much better than the one that I did real quick. He's on the fringe. Okay. Oh yeah, I've heard about this guy. He's a famous golfer. His name is John Slogolski. Udvol14 says, batter, batter, batter. Yeah. Ekunks says, get fringed noob. Binny Bobini says, so are we trying to put the ball in the hole? Yeah, we are. At some point before Christmas time would be best. This guy doesn't realize the definition of dead air. My God. Okay, let's go ahead and just finish this right now. Okay, it looks like it's very... I think we want to shoot over here. And let it sort of curve. We need to go 15 or 56 feet. This is a tough one. Oh, that was terrible. Oh, what? Oh, I put too much on it. My God, did you guys see that? I'm just going to take the gimme. Let's see how this guy does. That was amazing. I'd say even more than almost. I actually hit it. So what are we? Oh, so we're tied. Boy, all that work and we just tied. Okay, Kiss Army. This guy's a Gen Xer just like myself. All right, let's go. Come on, Epstein. There's your island. Goat Sheed says the surface tension on these holes is ridiculous. They need to water the lawn less. Blue golf balls. In the fescue. I think fescue is what we made today. Caitlin's Kitchen says, I hope there are no bodies buried on the course. Yeah. Computer, what does fescue mean?
Fescue refers to a group of grass types often used for lawns and pastures. It grows well in many climates and conditions, providing a sturdy and attractive ground cover.
Okay,
For more details,
computer, stop.
check Alexa.com.
Why always I have to go to the website? I don't feel bad about that. Oh, get me out of the fescue, though. Ah, we're in the fucking fescue. Beanie Bobini says grass type? What are they, weak to? All right, we're going to get out of the rough here. See how I don't take tons and tons of time? Wait, why did that go so poorly? That went very poorly. All right, let's see how the other guy does. Gonna have some more of this stuff. Oh, Just had a big chunk of cheese. The cheese part's kind of gross. Hey, I did better than this guy. You guys still with me here? Schneebs Plays says, Fescue fucked you. Yeah, it sure did. Friendly Friend says, usually the fescue eats up all the energy of the hit. Ah, yeah, that's... I wish I would have known that. I've never known anything about fescue. Except for it sounds like something I might have cooked once. A French dish. Beautiful shot, Epstein. Okay. Can we get some sunblock on hole 2, please? All right, 48 yards to go. Not very great. Get up there. Get up there. No. All I want to do is beat this guy. Pug Lady says, here with you. You're doing great. Oh, thanks, Pug Lady. All right, let's see what we've got. 10 yards. I'm on the fringe, though, so I might have to hit it just a little bit harder than one normally would. Nah. That was pretty lousy.
Not too shabby.
Oh, this guy thought it was good. Not too bad. Yeah, thanks, Gummy Candy. I guess I was thinking I better sink this thing because this guy is right up on me. I think the char on the chickpeas was something that worked out well today. Is it me or does he look like a ghost? Am I playing with the ghost of Epstein on his island? CP2 Noakes says, are you better at cooking or golf? I'm probably about the same at both. Okay, Kiss Army. Apparently Kiss Army wasn't having a lot of fun. Thanks for the great content. All right, we won. All right. I think we're going to go with the win. Let's just be happy about that. I'm in hell. We're going to quit. Why don't we do a little up-tempo version of our song here? I hope you guys had a good time. I had a good time. We made food that was not that bad. We did a couple of songs that were sort of hit and miss in terms of the performance, but we played a little golf on Epstein Island, and that was kind of fun. And thanks, Skabuda. It's very nice to hear that. Okay, it's time. Let's check in on our alerts. The Chunks has subscribed. Thanks for resubscribing, The Chunks. And it says, here's to an entire year so far of good recipes. Thanks for giving me a reason to wake up before noon, twice a week. Keep on cooking. Thanks, The Chunks. That's very nice to hear. Hot dog is a verb says, hey, Henry, what's the difference between a green pea and a chickpea? I asked my dad, and all he said was he wouldn't pay $20 to have a green pea on him. I'm not sure he knows what he's talking about, but he's not a professional at anything. Well, he's a professional at wordplay because I think that's a pretty damn funny thing to say. I've heard the version with garbanzo, but it seems like the amount in the joke varies. $20, sometimes $100, sometimes it's $50. I think it's revealing when your dad heard that joke because inflation has made it so that $20 it would be impossible to have the service that he ordered. Okay, everybody, we're getting off a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and do this song here that goes out to all of you users, and it's a thank you. It's not an exclusive list of names, but it's quite a few of them. The Tier 3 subscribers, the moderators, folks running the Discord, technical advisors, the big name streamers who've given us little shout outs here and there. Don't forget, if you live anywhere near the American Midwest, I'll be on a little mini tour doing St. Louis and Chicago, February 22nd and March 1st, respectively. There's a link in the chat where you can get tickets, or you go to henrys.kitchen or henryphillips.com and go to the tour date section. It's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you to you, the user community, and here we go. Shane, yes, Beelzebub, Mochi's Nirvana, it's Kate Kairosa, Bumble Vision and the LGX, Chef Reactions, Husky Boyle, Bill Larkin Music, The Toily, Nim, Moon, Amberoo, Orca Mind, S-Fan, and Bonnie too, Dazzle Cat, Blurry Little Quest, and Borsum, Vanilla, and Parasitosis, and don't forget Quanto and Beanie Bobini. These Nuts, Game Master, Flash, Mimsy Kun, the Cat Food Taste Tester, Machirenex, Mochi's Nirvana, Red Hot Hibachi, Ransom GR, Aciditis, and Michelle Heffian, Dazzle Cat, Zod, Bait, and Toke My Nuts, Saguaro, Uberito, 55555, Dinosaur, JV's Text, Sickly Boy, Beelzebub, Handlips, 1, Caitlin's Kitchen, Embry, 225, Yarkasm, and Nico Taso, Michael Bublé, 4422, Potato Cat Raider, Passion Air, Minho Shin 64, Midnight Faded, JSBX Fan, Tis, Pool Boy 789, Lacey T, Purple Donut, Filling His Fruit Tankard, and Borsum, Vin Zodiac Tone, Gary Busey, ASMR, Lurk Bowl, Shandis, Nova Clarion, Mr. Gooseberry VT, and don't forget Quanto. The Micro Machines, who's that, JSBX fan? I'm going to have to look that up. Okay, well, what can I say? Thank you all so much. Very appreciative that you joined me on this Wednesday afternoon. I think we figured it out. We had a little bit of difficulty with the meal, but not too much. Thanks for joining us here on Henry's Kitchen. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and I will see you at noon Pacific time right here at Henry's Kitchen on Sunday. Thanks, Official Shitter. I appreciate it. Thanks, Beelzebub, Parasitosis, the Gym Dodger, It's Kate, Butt Smasher Masher, Caitlin's Kitchen, Maui Girl. Thank you all. Thank you all so much for your pictures and song suggestions and just general chiming in. I appreciate it. Thanks, Pug Lady, Ghost in a Gutter, and Nancy Droodles, The Chunks, and so many others. So thanks, everybody, and I hope to see you on Sunday.